The following program is hosted by immature, irreverent, obnoxious, and often disgusting young men. Listener discretion is advised.
This time on Nude Clan, will you choose between 3 edgy teenagers or the Catholic Church?
Shall we play a game?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Nude Clan, the podcast where we no longer sit in the same room, yet we're all here in spirit. I'm your host, Caleb Schweiss.
Caleb Craig. Cameron.
And Zach.
And today, guys, got a special unscheduled review from Zach and Craig of Fire Emblem, what is it, like 3 houses?
Three houses.
16 houses, some shit. Yeah.
Yep.
It seems like it would be 16 houses, given the length of the game, from what you guys are saying. But I guess a mere 3 houses can fill that much time.
That's funny you say 16 houses, because it's the 16th entry in the Fire Emblem series.
Oh, wow, there you go. There you go. That's a lot of games. That's pretty impressive.
That's great.
Yeah.
When are they going to have the VR fishing game? It doesn't count as a series until I get a VR fishing game.
Well, I
do
doubt
too,
they'll
that's
have
the dumb
one.
Whatever you can do it for Flight, it'd be easy.
Yeah.
But there already is a fishing minigame in 3 houses, and I think it's the first one to have that.
Is it worthy?
So there you go. I mean, it's a fishing minigame, so...
I mean, it's not like this, like, what is it, it's one of the Zelda fishing games, but... I mean, I feel
Yeah, it's not like an entirely different game inside this game.
Yeah. All right. That's fair. Not enough, but fair. So, what have you guys been up to this week? Before we get into any of the reviews, let's talk about our gaming history for the last week. Craig, what's been going on? What have you had? What have you had going?
I played some Doom Eternal, some Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, and that's pretty much been it. I tried out a couple levels of that Doom 64 as well.
Oh, nice. How do you feel about that? I don't think I ever played Doom 64 unless it's just a port of Doom 1. I don't know.
It's not. It's apparently it's an entirely different game. It's kind of interesting. First level was kind of brutal. Had some pinkies and shit on it. And, I only made it to the second level. I got that one berserk skill, so I punch dudes and then they just explode into blood.
So you got the blood punch.
Essentially.
Nice. Have you ever finished any of those older Doom games?
I beat the first one, but I haven't played any of the other ones, really.
No. Doom 1 is pretty good. So is Doom 2. It's a really good series, I think.
I've also beat Chex Quest, if we want to count that, since it's basically just a reskin, so...
Yeah, that's like counting Dante's Inferno as a God of War game, though.
No, it's nothing like God of War.
Yeah...
It's the hack and slash thing, though. Like it plays pretty similarly.
Yeah.
Well, it's a hack and slash, but it's not. It doesn't have like the same movements and style.
Yeah. Well, saying that is as crazy as saying that Devil May Cry is as good as God of War. What do you think about that, Zach? What do you think about? Just real quick, because Craig and I have like a rivalry with these two. Not like recent God of War or recent Devil May Cry, because that's just not fair. But like God of War probably 1 through 3 versus Devil May Cry 1 through 3.
God of War.
Okay. That's good. The tables have turned from uncaring to God of War. I don't
I
think
don't know, man. God of War 2 is definitely the best, but God of War 3 is like super amazing. And
Dude, God of War 3 is rad. God of War 1's amazing well, too, dude. Like that, they wouldn't have kept going if the number 1 wasn't good.
Yeah, DMC 1 is good too though.
That's
so
true.
DMC 3.
And DMC 3 is also pretty good. I don't know. God of War 3 I still
2
like.
is though, and then God of War 2 is definitely like peak.
Yeah, that's like unfair. It's like it's so much
Yeah,
better
God of
than
War 2
DMC 2. Fuck that game. I love it when people are. That's why I get so mad when I see people online saying that DMC is the worst Devil May Cry. I'm like, no, dude. Devil May Cry 2 fucking sucks. All right.
Yeah, 2 exists. You can't.
You can't bury it, man. It doesn't matter how much you hate the high speed action of DMC. It's never going to be worse than
Dude,
Devil May Cry 2.
I hate that so many people don't like DMC, because DMC was great.
I know.
It was so fun.
It's so stupid. They just don't like fun. They just like androgyny, so they can be.
Dante doesn't look like old Dante. I'm like, dude, just shut up and play.
Yeah.
Apparently, that wasn't the only problem with some people. They're like, "Oh, they changed a lot of the mechanics," and it's like, "Yeah, it's a fucking remake.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not gonna be exactly the same."
Dude, could you imagine if like the Resident Evil fans had done that for like the 2 remake? Like, it would have been ridiculous.
I know.
And we wouldn't have gotten 3. Like, so dumb.
Yeah. I mean, it is pretty different though. I would say Devil May or Resi 2 is pretty different compared to OG Resi 2, but I mean,
Right.
the series was already kind of moving that way, so maybe it's a little easier to take. But at the same time, I would say that Devil May Cry was already kind of moving that way too, because there are some really action-heavy Devil May Cry games. 3 is like pretty actiony. I mean, 1 I think is a lot more slowed down, but
I think
Right.
3 would be a lot faster if it wasn't limited by PS2, because 4 is pretty fucking fast. 5, it's insanely fast, and
Yeah,
so is
5's
DMC.
pretty fast.
So
yeah. So I don't know why it was such a shell shock to get that kind of a game. It's just I don't know. I think it's just people being dumb because it's not the original creators. They're just purists.
yeah,
Or my theory of everyone that likes the original one is gay, and they just can't be gay for Dante in secret because he's just looks like a dude in DMC as opposed to a dude chick. Yeah. Yeah. That was my original theory when I got really mad about it like a year and a half ago. But
closet gay people who like the androgynous Dante.
yeah,
That's the ultimate trap card, bro. The ultimate Yu-Gi-Oh card.
yeah, he can't
gay!
can't escape it.
Gay for Dante.
Okay, for Dante, I discard all of your cards, and I get to pick 5 from your graveyard. It's over. Yeah. So, all right, cool. I still have to finish almost all of those games, so I can't really say I didn't finish 2 or 3 because I hated 2, and I was trying to play them in release order when I got the collection on PS2, but I just couldn't get past that second one for some reason. I mean, I didn't like it, but I don't know if it's that bad to where like you don't even want to go through it. But I don't know. I didn't, so I'll have to come back. Many of our arguments are things that neither of us have finished. But
It's true.
we make grand statements about their excellence regardless. So, we just had one the other day about Wheel of Time and Game of Thrones, and Craig and I are taking shots at each other, and I was like, this isn't even really fair, because Craig's only read the first Game of Thrones, and I haven't even finished the first Wheel of Time book. So I have like 16 Wheel of Time books to read before I can even make a judgment.
There's only 15 if you're including the standalone prequel novel.
Oh, okay.
Well, obviously we are.
I tried to read that. I tried to listen to that, and I was really bored. And
New
then,
Spring, yeah, the New Spring is something that you gotta listen to like
after you've read
After you've already read the series, kind of.
because then it just becomes like fan service, because now you're learning more of the beginning of the characters you already love. So
Yeah, that's what it seemed like, and I was like, okay, I don't remember any of this in the first book, so I think this is kind of like spoilery almost.
yeah. It's spoilery because it there's some twists that happen in the series that it spoils for you. So
What a twist.
Yeah.
especially the relationship between Moraine and Lan, you don't want to get into that yet.
Yeah, it was starting to do that, and then I stopped, because then I asked you guys, I was like, should I be listening to this thing?
No,
Everyone's like, no, don't do it. That's bonus. That's if you're really into it.
that's after you finish the entire series.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Dude, I'll read them alongside.
You know, because we actually have a finished series.
Yeah. Well, but you've only read the first Game of Thrones book, though.
Yeah, you didn't read.
It's true, but
Clash
I've
of
watched the
Kings?
show.
You've only read...
It's completely different. After season 2, it's completely different.
Yeah, season 1 and 2 of the show are very, very close, and then after that, it's like crazy different. Like
Yeah,
almost
after
the
that-
entirety of book 4, which I've come around to actually really enjoying.
I fucking hate book 4.
Ah, dude, I love it.
Dude, I hate it right now. I hate it so much. I'm stuck on that one. I haven't finished 4 yet. I want to read A Dance with Dragons, but I can't because I'm stuck on.
See,
Crows.
now that I've read them 3 times, book 4 I really enjoy. I like the Greyjoy stuff a lot.
No, I like the Greyjoy stuff. The Greyjoy stuff is awesome. The stuff that sucks is the Lannister stuff, because I hate Cersei. And then the what's her name? Brienne of Tarth is kind of boring in the book.
Yeah. I mean, she's as sometimes she could be as boring as the actress is terrible in the show. So think about that, and then you can understand if you haven't read it.
Definitely though it does shine with the Greyjoy stuff. That's one of my favorite stuff to read in this one is everything about the Greyjoys.
Yeah, I like the lore that you get. There's it's really, I don't know. I used to hate it for that, and then also for the characters,
Right.
because I only really loved. I think Jaime's really big in that book, which I like a lot.
Yeah, the Jaime stuff has been nice.
But other than that, all of your favorite characters are in the 5th book, because he split it in half like a dick.
Right.
And he put half of the characters in one, and then he released the other half
with everyone you want to read about, with Danny and John and
and that was 4 years later. It was one was 2007, and the other one's 2011. And I was like, fuck.
Dude, this coronavirus better not kill him, and it better force him to finish the fucking series.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking about that. I was like, what if Corona takes him out, man? Then I'll be truly mad. Anyone that ever downplayed it will just feel my wrath.
Just Schweiss kneeling in the rain. Just Corona.
You will be avenged. Because there's no Brandon Sanderson to swoop in, and there's no better writer waiting to finish the series. Or extremely meticulous, yet also very artistic writer. Brandon Sanderson's a freak. I don't know how he's able to do what he does. Most writers are the George Martins, the lazy, I'll get to it. And then there's Stephen King, who's just fast and can't stick an ending to save his fucking life. And then there's Brandon Sanderson, who's I'm 38.5% done with the 5th book in my 3rd series. It will be released June of this year, and it comes out, and you're like, Jesus Christ. And everyone loves it, so it's not
it's rad that he has the drive.
Different types of people, yeah, but he definitely has his whole thing set up to where Brandon Sanderson just fucking pumps stuff out. He just must storyboard and plan everything as much as he can before he actually sits down and writes. So he knows just how far he is.
Multiple books at once too. On his website, you can see I'm done. I'm this % done with this book. This % done with this book. This % done with this book.
See, Brandon Sanderson's going to challenge Stephen King with just the amount of books he can pump out.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's some Stephen King that I really do love, but
Stephen King's probably already written 20 books during the quarantine.
Yeah. He's going to release them under 5 different pseudonyms, too.
But how many of them are just going to be different versions of The Shining, just because he's locked away?
Oh yeah, I was thinking about that. I was like, man, everyone's gonna get Shining style cabin fever, stuck in the house with the same people for months.
If something happens to George R. Martin, though, then we just got to get J.K. Rowling to finish the series off.
Oh my
J.K.
god,
Just as
Rowling?
bad as just as bad as the TV show ending. It's
Yeah.
perfect. It's perfect.
So you want it to be far worse, and then you want her to like tweet out later on that the characters had certain sexual
Yeah,
preferences.
Yeah,
Jon
yeah,
Snow was
exactly.
gay. You're like,
She'll
what?
be like, yeah, she'll like, actually, Jon Snow was bestiality, and him and Ghost made sweet, sweet love all the time. And you're like, oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Jon Snow turned gay when he came back from the dead. You're like, oh, come on.
Him and Sam would sneak away.
He couldn't touch another woman after Egret and his resurrection. God,
What's her name? No, what's Gilly? Gilly always knew, but she never said anything for respect for Sam.
yeah. There's a don't ask, don't tell from Gilly. Yeah, I could see that. Fucking Rolling, she'd God damn it.
I knew that would get someone.
I get so fucking mad at that. I'd be like, no, don't you say a word.
God damn.
He was just smothering it with heterosexuality. God.
Well,
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Cameron, what have you been playing?
I played, the main two, Doom Eternal and a little bit of Call of Duty Warzone. I was playing on my PC the other day. It's pretty nice. Pretty nice. I wasn't, doing really well. I mean, my aiming and everything was a lot better, but I'm still getting used to the movement controls on PC.
Got it.
But yeah. Not too much in the way of diversity, but yeah. I mean, I did sink a lot of time into Doom, so.
Yeah.
And then played a little bit of Doom's multiplayer as well. I think we need to stream us playing that. But it's only a 3-man online thing right now.
Yeah, that
Have
makes
you
it
guys played any of it?
really, really lame. No, I haven't touched it.
I've played a couple games of it. I got fucked every single time, though. I played as the Slayer, and I went up against a couple guys playing as Revenant. And, I kind of got brutalized because I wasn't entirely sure what was going on.
It's just you against them, but you can totally destroy them. And the best way to do it as the Doomslayer is you don't want to kill one before the other one is close to death, because then the other one will spawn back. So you got to get them both close to death and then slay them. And then you win the round. And then you get to go 3 rounds. But if you just come at them just like as the Doomslayer would, just fucking balls the wall, then you will win. And if they're playing stupid, like not staying near each other, then you find one that's isolated and just punish them for being isolated away from the other one. The only times it does become hard is if someone is playing the Marauder, and Marauder, he's the one who can match your speed, and so he can actually kind of pressure you. And if he's playing with another one that's playing with him and doing a good job playing with him, then it's kind of hard. And that time I would prioritize killing one of them as fast as you can, just to give you more time with the other one to get him halfway down. Because when the next one spawns in, they only spawn in with half health, so it makes it easier. So prioritize killing the Marauder and then try to get the other one down to close to death. Because by the time the other one spawns in, it'll be easier to wipe them out. A lot of strategy, a lot of playing. The demons have to work together, and then the Doomslayer, he has to really strategize how he's going to tackle them. But if you're relentless, it's easy.
Nice. Do you like it? I mean, do you like it more
I
than
kind of like
2016's?
it. I do want to do it with the team just to see, do it with us just to see how that goes. But I like it well enough.
All right. Yeah, we'll have to play it for sure. I mean,
Yeah, dude, I'm down. It looks fun.
yeah. That's it for you, Cameron?
Yeah.
All right, what about you, Zach? What have you been doing?
Sunk a lot of time into Doom Eternal as well this week. And Blasphemous. Played a bunch of that. It's been fun. And I played a little bit of Three Houses.
You get past that fucking snow level in that Blasphemous? Or did you
No, I
go
went the
down
other
a
way.
different route?
I went the other way. I found out there's a lot more to check out. I got a little cutscene. So
Did you get that first boss?
No, I haven't found him yet.
Okay.
So, I'm still just platforming away in that game.
Very
that's
nice.
it for me.
All right, so let's see. I only played Secret of Mana this week. I didn't touch another game. Not done with it yet. Still, I'd really put it off. But Joe's done, so I want to kind of have the review as soon as possible. And I'm getting pretty close. I've only got I think 6 sections left, according to the IGN guide. So they break it down by area, and I think I have 6 more little tabs of varying size. But so that should be done pretty soon. But I'm not done yet, since it's a long ass RPG, or at least it's probably a middle range. It's definitely a middle ranged RPG.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it. I kept myself away from the Doom. I kept myself away from the Metal Gear Solid 3 because I want to finish this up. Craig and I have to knock out that Monkey Island, though. This week, we're supposed to do that. But that's a really fucking short game, from what I've heard.
Wait, we actually are doing Monkey Island?
Yeah, we should do
Oh
that.
yeah, he wasn't here last week.
Oh yeah.
Thanks for telling me. That's cool.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Oh shit.
You got to listen to the episode, man.
Or you could just tell me. So.
Nah.
All right. Well, I think I already started it a year ago. So
you got to restart it because the thing was a year, wasn't it?
Well, I didn't get very far. I was in the first area still.
Yeah. So it says it's 6.5 hours online. So that's not too bad. That was one of the first games we were gifted, though. Sort of. Somebody gave us money and said we should buy Monkey Island with it. So, and it's on PS3, which is pretty cool because trophies, man. But we can, yeah, let's do that, Craig. Sorry, I forgot you weren't here last week, but
all right, I can do that. Wait, when do we want to have it done by?
next Sunday.
Keep it a week, okay.
Do the game short.
Oh, it was developed by Telltale, really? Man, I didn't know Telltale was that old. That's crazy.
No, it was LucasArts.
Yeah, it said it was published by LucasArts. Oh, no, never mind. The 5th one was by Telltale. That makes sense. I was looking at the series, not the first game. That makes a lot more sense. I was like, I didn't think Telltale was around in 1990. But yeah, LucasArts. Man, that LucasArts used to do a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
And now they don't do jack
Anything?
shit. Yeah, they just...
What's going on?
They just get their name paraded around. I don't know, somebody's mic was
Clicking back and forth.
yeah, boopity bopping.
Boopity bopping.
Cool, yeah, so that's what we're planning for next week. And, yeah, we'll knock that shit out. But before we move on, guys, to our review... The most important question of the week. Did anyone beat a game this week?
Yes, I actually beat 2 games. I beat Doom Eternal and Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
Nice.
Good job.
Yeah.
Schweiss pulling
Very
up
nice.
the Excel document because he hadn't have it open yet.
No, I did. I was typing. So, good job, too. That's pretty impressive. I didn't beat anything this week. What about you, Cameron?
Yes! I beat Doom Eternal.
Wow, Cameron pulling ahead of me. Zach?
I did. I beat Doom Eternal.
Wow, it's a weird trend. Maybe we'll have to review this in a week when someone else has also beaten it, or a couple weeks. I'm excited because we've got a good stretch of games. Real soon.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah, good.
I had to get it done for Friday since Resident Evil 3 comes out.
Well, where did you order Resi 3 from?
I didn't. I just go pick them up at Walmart for $10 cheaper.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I think I ordered it online on Amazon, so that's possibly not going to be very good.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. They said they're prioritizing certain items, and I think video games are one of those items. Prioritizing.
Okay, they're keeping people inside. Hell yeah! What a great time to be alive.
Thank God. Yeah.
If I've ordered on Amazon recent days, they will delay it for about a week and then ship it.
Yeah.
But that's just for normal orders, not priority items like video games.
Yeah. I'm so glad they have their priorities straight. God, yeah, I did order it in February. Hopefully they do drop it off because they've been pretty good about like getting it to me the day of, which is fine because it's going to come out Friday, April 3rd. Like I'm not even going to be able to play it on Friday. I mean, I guess if I got it when I woke up, but I don't know.
Right. And then are you gonna even touch it until you beat Secret of Mana?
No, Secret of Mana, and then probably, Secret of Mana, and then this fucking Monkey Island game, and true. Then probably Doom, and then
Final Fantasy VII, and then
yeah, that's coming out really soon too.
Yeah, that's the 10th. So.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe we should do like a collaboration with Ultima.
That'd be fun.
Do something because I know a couple. I think two of you are at least getting it, right?
Yeah, I'm getting Resi 7. I mean, Final Fantasy.
Ooh, a crossover.
Yeah, I'm planning on it too.
Ultima. That'd be interesting. I might need to dip my toes in that.
Yeah, maybe.
Final Fantasy VII, you say?
I'm gonna have to be.
Will they sell a digital copy?
Maybe.
Because if they do, I might have to try it out.
Perhaps we'll have to talk about it. I think it'd be fun, though. I'd be down. All right, so the Nude Clan Hog, since I didn't beat a game, is as follows. Caleb Craig, first place with 5 games. Cameron, second place. Zach and I tied. Third place for 3 games. Cameron has 4 games, by the way. So that is where the chips lie today, and we will see where they lie next week. All right, so what's going on with this Fire Emblem Three Houses game? Tell me about this thing.
Did we want to look for some questions? We had some questions left over. From last week.
If we got leftover questions, yeah, do it.
Because someone asked a ton of questions last week. Or we don't do questions on review days, do we?
No, not really.
Yeah, but we can skip it. Let's get into the review.
Well, I mean, if we're going to do reviews 2 nights
are you gonna find the YouTube trailer for it?
Yeah, I got the trailer ready.
Nice. Let's get into it.
All right, let's do it. Switch trailer, apparently. A promised reunion of beloved students.
Let's all agree to meet back at the monastery exactly 5 years from today.
Like a class reunion?
You will come, won't you?
Sweet memories.
Years ago, we fought here as
Twisted by a
classmates.
cruel fate.
As big class reunions go, this one's gotta be the worst in history. What should we do, Teach? Kill every last one of them!
As dawn beckons, the flames of war rise.
Still, we have no choice but to eliminate those who cling to unreasonable ideas of justice.
Someone must put a stop to this cycle of the strong trampling the weak. So the Veil Star consumes even the darkness itself. Yet we have the strength to scale the walls between us, to reach out our hands in friendship so we can open our true hearts to one another. That's how we win!
My teacher.
Both sides of time are revealed to you. What shall you do?
Fire Emblem, Three Houses.
How lovely it would be for this moment to last forever.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Man, that trailer, man. I just can't.
Why not? Why can't you?
Yeah, is it too much, Cameron?
We will show each other our true hearts, and that's how we will win.
I mean, it is super anime, bro. Like, it's super anime.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. But yeah. So this is the 16th installment in the Fire Emblem series. This is the first Fire Emblem I ever played. So I can't tell you how it's like any of the other ones.
It's like the third one that I played.
But I mean, apparently it's a good series. I mean, people really enjoy these games, and they wouldn't be at 16 if it wasn't good.
Yeah, or at least if someone hadn't convinced themselves it was good. So there's that.
So, Three Houses. It's set in the world of Fodlan. There's like 3 different divisions of or houses, I guess, that kind of control everything. They're all under the banner of the Church of Saros. Like who you play as is you're a former mercenary who becomes a teacher, and they make you choose a house to back, and then from there you go on and you like do like battles throughout the game, and then it depends on who you choose, depends on like the ending you get.
Yes, so the story will vary depending on like which of the houses you choose, because they have different political events for each of those characters, and then of course their personalities are very different, so they're going to go about things in a different way. For instance, both Zach and I picked Edelgard, which is the Empress of the I can't remember what the empire is called, but anyway, she's like the future empress, and she really, really hates the church because they've done some shady shit, and she's been like experimented on because of their beliefs and shit. And so she just kind of like hates them and their ideals, and she wants to kind of get rid of nobility and kind of make a republic out of her country. And a lot of people do not like her ideas.
Well, no, it's the way she executes it.
Yeah, that too. She's kind of a bitch about it. So,
which is kind of funny because, like, so with that storyline with the Black Eagles, there's 2 different endings, and me and Craig both did like each other one.
Oh, nice. Very thorough of you.
Well, I didn't want to.
So,
I wanted the one he had.
Oh.
Yeah. So at a certain point in the game...
What?
Is it hard to see what ending you're going to get? And so unless you're like very careful, you're going to get the other one?
Not really, because like the event that dictates it, if you're not dumb like me, you can manipulate. And just you just answer. She asks you a question, and when she asks you a certain question, you just have to answer it a certain way.
Oh, okay.
And if you do, it shows her that you're on her side instead of the Church of Saros.
Yeah, there's like a couple like big event choosing things that happen. So like there's one where you like talk to her about like what's going on with her specific crest, which are like magical things that each person has that kind of gives them like abilities, and it's usually only the nobles that have them.
Yeah.
And she happens to have the same flame crest that you do.
And it's super rare.
And the reason
like,
that she has it,
rare.
yeah, it's super rare. And the reason that she has it at all is because she was experimented on, and they like kind of gave it to her. because she's not of that bloodline that would normally have that specific crest. And so, yeah, she really is pissed off about a lot of things, and she hates crests, and she hates the church, and whatever. And then,
I mean, if we're gonna get into spoilers, right?
Oh, yeah.
of course, yeah.
Yeah.
It's-
The reason she's like so pissed too is like they experimented on all her like siblings as well, and they all died because they couldn't handle it, and she's the only one that could handle it, and so she's like got this huge chip on her shoulder where she's like, yeah, fuck them, because they don't care. They only care about themselves.
yeah, so you build up your relationship with her. She like starts to trust you, and then she like starts talking to you about things. And so if you kind of like answer her in ways that make it seem like you're on her side, then she starts trusting you more, and then she like it eventually gives you the option later on to to save her, because like this whole time you're fighting against this guy called the Flame Emperor. And he's teamed up with these other guys who are pretty evil and stuff, and you're fighting against them. They kill your dad, which is like a whole huge thing. And then it gets revealed that Edelgard is the Flame Emperor.
Yeah, so you find that out like midway through, and like I wasn't expecting that, and I was kind of pissed off about it.
Would you say he's the flamer?
Yeah.
She is the Flamer, you mean?
Yeah, is he the flamer?
I was
Anyway,
thinking that or the Lord of the Fire Nation.
Lord of the
Yeah.
Fire Nation.
anyway, so yeah, so like halfway through, you figured out that she's the Flame Emperor. You're there with Rhea, who's basically the Pope of this church, and she tells you to kill her because she wants to get rid of her. And so you get the choice then if you've like befriended Edelgard, if you like made her seem like you're on your side. So you get the choice to either kill her or protect her. And this is where the big difference is between the endings that Zach and I got. So he chose to kill her because he had no other choice.
Yeah, they didn't give
And
the
I
choice.
chose to
So
protect her.
mad. Yeah, so I got forced to choose the Catholic Church, and I was pretty pissed off about it. But yeah, wasn't what I wanted.
Yeah.
No, but like, so so there's two other characters. There's Dimitri with the Blue Lion's House, and there's Claude with the Golden Deer. But I don't know what happens in their stories because I haven't looked it up. But it's different, which is kind of cool that they decided to do 4 different endings, depending on who you play as. And I was interested to see if there was like a legit, like true ending, because most games, if they do like multiple endings, there's a true ending, and this one doesn't have one. The true ending is whatever one you choose. Which
because there's like 3 different storylines, and then there's
Yeah.
like also 2 different choices.
Well, there's
with those.
there's 4 technically, and then even 5 if you count the new Ascended Shadows or whatever, the new DLC.
Yeah.
So like, it's a good multiple choice.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Very
it's
nice.
pretty sweet. Yeah. The characters are sweet. Like I honestly didn't meet a character I didn't like, at least on like my side. On the church's side, not the church's side, but like class wise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I don't know
the
if-
classes are pretty cool. You get to befriend like everybody in the class, and then you can
Show them your
kinda
true
get-
heart.
I mean, not really, but you get little cutscenes with them, like of them like talking to you about their past and whatnot. And then you like learn some shit about them. Like they're basically all traumatized.
Yeah,
by their
everyone,
fucking past.
every girl in this story has daddy issues and has been traumatized, and every single guy hates their family and wants to find a way to like be them like better at themselves. It's weird.
We are all edgelords here.
Let's see. Yeah, like it. I don't know. It's sweet. Like there's a mechanic. One of the main mechanics in the game is you build up relationships. So you get like a C, a D, C, B, and A, and if it's with you, there's an S. And so what you do is like you can only get these like talking like to each other if you like have dinner together, or if you fight next to him, like kill someone together, or if you like, it stops your wartime games to have tea parties. So if you have a tea party, you can like talk to someone and like boost like your relationship up with them, and then by doing that, it unlocks them like being able to talk to you, and so like the better relationship you have with them, they'll either grow closer to you, closer to class, or like later on, if you talk to people who aren't in your class and you get good relationships with them, you can save them from the war. So instead of going through and having to kill them later on, you can like tell them to leave, and like most often they'll leave. You don't have to feel bad about yourself for just slaughtering children. So,
is that why the Catholic Church hates you?
Yeah, that's exactly why.
Okay.
No, because I was on the church's side, and they were still killing people.
By the time like the big war happens, like you know how it said in the trailer, it's like, oh, we should all meet here 5 years from now.
Yeah,
that actually happens. There's a time skip.
Oh yeah.
There's like a big fight where your guy gets like suspended in like time for like 5 years, and then he like comes back out.
Because you're like,
hey everybody, I'm back.
You're fused with the goddess of this world, is what you find out.
Yeah,
and
so he gets put into like the null zone, and then like the goddess awakens the powers in him.
Yeah, she polymerizations herself into you, and you fuse together.
Yeah, and so he, instead of having blue hair, he gets light green hair, and then you come back, and then you're just like, hey everybody, it's been 5 years, what's going on?
Yeah, and everyone's like, oh, you're alive.
And they're just like, oh my god, I can't believe you made it on time to be here when we made that pledge.
Yeah, it's perfect timing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like exactly 5 years, and like you go, and like the world is just fucked. Like it's pretty bad. See, so what was yours like? Like, what was the world for you like when you woke up after that 5 years? Great, because obviously ours were different.
So after he woke up 5 years later, Edelgard had taken over the church's headquarters, with her empire, and they made it basically their base of operations for while they attack everybody else. And so the other two guys haven't aligned them. The Dimitri, the blue guy, they aligned themselves with the church, and they're like, hey, fuck everybody, why the fuck are you attacking the church? That's wrong. And then the Golden Deer guy is like, yeah, we don't really want to be involved. So he kind of like takes a back seat, but he's still kind of like involved, but he doesn't want to be.
Right, well, because he's a tactician.
Yeah. And he knows that if he doesn't get involved, then he's going to get attacked by Dimitri later, and then or you. So he's like, fuck.
Yeah.
So that he's basically getting boned between this war between you and the church that the blue-eyed guys have been aligned with.
So was Dimitri alive in yours?
Yeah, he's alive in mine, but he had like lost an eye, and he's real douchey now.
I think he's got like one of the best like alternate 5 year later like his design. I like his design a lot.
Did he lose an eye for you?
He was dead.
Oh, he was dead?
Yeah, and mine is dead. So with mine, when you wake up, like, because I was on the church's side, so Edelgard is at her home country, and that's where they're based. And so you go back, and the first mission is like you're going back to the monastery, and you end up clearing out a bunch of bandits, and then everyone ends up meeting up 5 years later. And you actually talk to Edelgard, you meet her, and you get a little sword fight, and she's like, Edelgard's I did this out of respect. She's like, but you're still my enemy, and this is how it's gonna be. And so you find everything, and it's like, oh yeah, the Cloud, the dude for the Golden Deer, he's still neutral, but he's trying to hold his kingdom together. And Dimitri died 4 years ago. Prior to that, when they had Golden Deer and the Blue Lions fought against and the church fought against Edelgard, and they lost. And so in mine, is Dimitri's presumed dead. He does come back once. They're like, oh, he's been hiding, and then they all they come to you and they're like, hey, let's go fight the church. And then
you immediately go kill him.
Well, no, I was like, no, you don't. Because I was like, they're like, oh, we need your help. And I was like, fuck yeah, let's do this. And then they had Seteth, and he was like, no, we're not doing that. And I'm like, don't speak for me. Like, and so you don't help him,
You
and then like then it
for me.
I was pissed, and it does like a little like it's like a day or two like time skip, like it's not much, but then you get like a note, like a carrier falcon or whatever the shit comes in, and you get like the letter, and it's Claude and Dimitri are both dead. Dimitri's re-dead because they went to fight Edelgard, and she just wrecks him, and so it's like up to you to like.
That's really interesting because in mine, I actually did go kill both of them individually.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I heard if you play the Golden Deer, you do like like in this like the school fight, like in the beginning of the game, where you're like you fight on that field, and you think you're gonna like fight with Dimitri, but then he's like kill them all, and you're like fuck, and you have to like take them all out as the Golden Deer.
Yeah.
There's like little holidays that pop up too, that play into the mechanics of the game, where it's like if you pray with people, they like help you out later, and you get like more points with the church. Which for me, I was trying to get the same ending that Craig got. So I, like, everyone that was, like, on my side, that was like, oh, we're for the church. I was like, yeah, fuck, I'm not going to use them. And then I got fucked later because the people I had put all my points into betrayed me and left. And that was...
Yeah,
that hurt a little bit.
That's a brutal, situation there.
It's pretty sad.
Yeah, so with mine, I ended up being, like, made the other two countries part of the Empire. And then my only real enemy left was the church.
So you basically Revenge of the Sith did. That's what you did.
yeah. So my only enemy was the church, and so like I had a big showdown, killed everybody, and then eventually got to Rhea, who turns into a dragon. And then you're like, oh fuck, this is nuts. And then you kill her too, and then you find out like. She put the goddess inside you so that she could sacrifice you later so that she could revive the goddess. Because the goddess is like her mom or some shit.
So that's not what happened in mine. So, you, let's see. I gotta think. So, wait, real quick too. Before that time skip, did Rhea turn into the dragon?
Not before, no.
Okay, so for mine she does.
She only does it at the end, and then it's like, oh shit.
Yeah, so she turns into the dragon and she helps you because you're on the church's side, and before like the time skip as well. So you see that, and then when you disappear, she disappears too, and you find out that like they're keeping her in a dungeon in the Empire. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so mine like I honestly thought I had like got to the last boss like 7 times in this fucking game. Because when you go and you attack the capital, so you fight Edelgard and her like right hand man Hubert, which is like one of the students that you had too, and we killed them, and I was like, oh yeah, end of the game, and I was like, just kidding. There's this other one, and I was like, oh. So you go and you fight like the real quote unquote bad guys of this game, and they're like I don't remember their names, but they're an ancient race that like had warred against these like the gods, basically. And so there's like this eternal struggle with them, but they've been missing for like a long time, like they just like disappeared. And so they're like supposedly the real enemies of the game for the church one. So I beat them, and I was like, oh, sick, beat the game. And then no, you have to fight Rhea because they're like, oh, she got crazy, and she like just like turns into the dragon, and then you have to like kill her. And like basically, even at the end of mine, Edelgard technically wins because the church gets fractured. And you're restarting everything because, like, you killed the Pope, basically. And, like, you find out that there's this ritual with the knights and, like, with, like, the higher-ups, like, priests and stuff, that they, like, drink some of her blood or they get, like, transfused with some of her blood. I wasn't really clear on that. And so they start turning into dragons, too, and they, like, all turn against you.
Yeah, what's funny is, like, I've heard a theory that this game is actually, like, the original game or... thing
yeah,
in this
I
world
told you that.
Because like because it's the origins of the dragons.
So yeah, actually, I think he's interesting. I haven't played any of them, so I don't know. I didn't know dragons were even a thing in this, but
yeah, they are. And some of the games, like the dragons are playable characters.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Is this a Final Fantasy Tactics like gameplay thing too?
It's not quite like Tactics, but it is a tactical gameplay.
Yeah.
Do you want to have us rate the story first?
I don't know. You guys covered everything you want to cover. I mean, anything else stand out? Anything else?
I mean, yeah, I guess
Favorite
like there's
moments.
gameplay. I mean, even
It's kind of hard to explain the story because a lot of the story comes from character development.
Right.
Because there's a lot in this game, especially with having most of the game being building a relationship with a lot of the individual characters.
right.
And then
Sorry.
the story is really, at least for mine, I really liked it.
Yeah, I did too. I thought it was
the whole,
sweet.
With the whole Edelgard wanting to kill the church, and it's like, yeah, you have good reasons for it, but you're being a total bitch on how you're trying to accomplish it.
Right, 'cause she kills her, she kills all her her friends and stuff. Like, I guess too in mine, because we were her class, she exiled everyone that because you keep the students that are with you to help you out, because I mean you've put all your all this time and effort into raising them up, and you have to teach them, and so while you're teaching them, you give them skill points, and they or XP in certain areas, and so then they can take a mastery different classes, and the best being mastery, but so you're giving them tests and stuff, and so you get those students, but in mine because they're against her, she exiled all of them. So you're oh yeah, so-and-so's parents are dead because she killed them. And it's I have to fight my dad in war. I don't want to do that. And someone's I hope my mom's okay. And you're oh, fuck. It's pretty heavy for a kid's game.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I think we're good at the story. I mean, unless you got
I think I give the story a 9.
I'm going to agree. I think it's a 9 as well.
Damn, not bad. Not bad. All right, so how does this thing play? I mean, what's the style? I know I've seen Fire Emblem before, and it seemed like Final Fantasy Tactics pretty much, but that was a long time ago. So
It is a wartime strategy.
Yeah, so basically it is a lot like Tactics in the fact that it's it's an isometric grid. There's also certain factors the trees and stuff on the levels will make it so it's easier to evade oncoming attacks.
Yeah.
But
you're slower. It slows you down.
Yeah, so there's certain advantages and disadvantages to each tile that you're on. There's certain interactive tiles, there'll be a ballista just randomly on the level that certain archers can use to
there's
snipe dudes from further away.
They have they have magic tiles too, where it's ranged magic attacks.
Yeah,
which is the same.
They have various tiles and stuff that will change certain mechanics. They'll raise evasion or defense, or you'll start healing and things like that. And then
there's ones that do damage to you. The ground is there's one where you go to this fiery area. That's kind of that's on lava moors, and so that'll do damage to you. Or if it's really sandy, some units can't move as fast, and it's heavy armor or horses don't move as fast. There's ones with water where you can't really you move really slow because you're wading through it as well.
Yeah, so there's a lot of tactical gameplay in here in this game and its style, because you have to really think about what kind of units you want for these things, because you get flying units, you get mounted units, you get heavy armor units, but they have different types of they have different movement speeds. They have different terrain things that will fuck them up, and as well the whatever weapon you're using will determine what you're good against. If you have a spear, you're going to be better against the dudes who are on horseback. Yeah. If you have an axe, you're going to be better against the guys who are heavy armored or only have a sword, things like that. Mm-hmm. And magic is really good against the flying units.
Yeah, same with archers and stuff are good against the flying as well.
Yeah, so you get a lot of advantage for things like that.
Right. And sometimes you level them up so much it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, and then you can also level up your classes and master the classes, and then you'll get various traits that you can put on your guy, kind of like you remember Final Fantasy Tactics, where you could equip your guy with like a quick time reaction thing, like a passive movement thing, things like that. You get abilities that you can attach to your character, like, they get plus 10 attack when using a sword, or they can attack twice if they're using black magic. Various things like that get attached to them because of their job, and then ones that you get to attach to them anyway because of their masteries of jobs.
Dude, I was so mad like losing Hubert because I had him as a Dark Bishop and he just fucking wrecked.
Yeah, he's insanely powerful, and he gets like a lot of range. He was easily in my top 3 as my strongest guys.
Right. Now, what was me too is I used him and Edelgard just fucked shit up. I'd say Ferdinand was probably my 3rd because Ferdinand did a lot of damage too.
Ferdy was more of a tank for me. I did have him on horseback, but he didn't do a shitload of damage, but he did help out.
I had him going in first every time.
Bernadetta was probably my number 4.
No, she
because I had her sniping shit.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Petra's really good too as the assassin. So like it's cool because you get different classes, and so it's like with the assassin, like it's high evasion,
high speed, and
high speed, high evasion, and she just wrecks. And then there's like ones where it's like they're still high evasion, or if they take a hit, like they tank it, where it's like like it did like a damage, or they get hit and it's all no damage, and you're like, yeah.
Yeah, and then there's like extra mechanics involving like you get little squads that you can attach to your guy that will increase certain values on them, and then they get a special ability to use with their squads.
Yeah,
like there are like various squads, like a magic unit that casts fireball, so you can like use your unit to attack a certain guy, so you don't have to like because your weapons and magic have a certain number of uses to them.
Right.
That you have to like recharge individually between battles.
What's nice with the magic though is it did itself. Like I never had to actively go in and like charge up magic, but like weapons I had to go to the smith or I had to just buy new ones.
Oh yeah. Your magic always gets reset. But yeah, the weapons you have to smith them back to full health and.
Yeah. And there's like
things. And then if you have the special weapons, then you have to like wait or have them fix it.
So there's as well like with like different units being good against each other. There's weapons you can get where it's like there's a sword that's like an armor slayer sword, or there's a javelin or a lance that's like a horse. It's called horse killer. And so like if you're like have those equipped to different people, you're like it broadens your range of who you can attack and who you're going to be good against as well. With the weapons too, there's a few like god tier weapons that you have to rest to recharge them. You can't like take them to the smith and get them fixed unless you're at like the super
like
metal.
The story, you get the sword of the creator, which gives you like a shitload more range and various other attacks with it, because it can like basically break apart and become like a whip sword.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you can attack like multiple units and like do wide sweeping shit.
Yeah, it's right. And then the 3 main characters of the houses each get a god tier weapon too, as well as like certain characters if you get their stories. So like I recruited from another class this girl named Marianne because I wanted her for like her healing stuff. I wanted 2 healers. You find out with her backstory that like she has this like cursed crest or whatever. It's like everyone hates her. But if you like friend her up and like keep doing like her missions, you end up getting there's missions called paralogs, and what they do is they play side by side with the story, but you get a different point of view from for a different character. And I did hers, and so she gets a god tier weapon too. She gets a sword called Bloodgang, and it's like rad. It does so much damage.
Oh, I was hoping you were going to say you can friend her up to dick her down.
Oh, you can. One of the mechanics in this game is getting married.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so like right before the end of the game, you can choose which chick you want to marry or which dude you want to marry.
Yeah, so I played. I didn't know that marriage was something in this game, so I chose the chick character because I was like, yeah, awesome. And then I had to choose a guy to marry in the end. And I was like, fuck. I wanted to have a lesbian power couple, but Japan said no.
Yeah, too bad. We should call them out. We should get Fire Emblem canceled. I want my butch lesbian first night, wedding night, and this game fucking took it from me. I worked so hard.
I did, and like, I was actually like at the house. I was at the show when I right before I finished beating it, and I was pissed because I spent all this time like trying to like work up these relationships, and the game just fucked me. It's like, yeah, this person did marry this one. And I was like, fuck, like I spent like 2 hours like working up their friendships and stuff.
Yeah, it sounds like a similar mechanic to what you could do in Dragon Age. No, that was a big part of that game. Just
that's cool.
Kindling relationships.
Yeah.
And
but you can also build relationships between other characters as well, which is what he's talking about. So, like, at the end of the game, it gives you kind of like the world tour kind of thing.
Oh, yeah, the RPG world tour.
Yeah, but it's like, it basically is like, oh, this is what happened to this character, or this is what happened to this character. But it changes depending on, like, how you develop their relationships with other characters. So if you have, like for instance, in mine, Edelgard married Caspar, and so who was like a much younger guy, and so it's like really funny, and it was basically like, oh yeah, they had a really argumentative relationship, like they were constantly yelling at each other. It's like, oh, that's interesting.
Hey, it's okay. Edelgard survived your story.
Yeah, she did. I didn't have to brutally murder her.
Dude, it is actually like hella brutal because she's sitting there and she's like on her knees because you like beat her, and she said something. She says something about like the friendship you guys used to have, and she's like, "Can you forgive me?" And you just fucking behead her. Like, yeah,
her head rolls away. She's like, "Is that a no?"
Like you don't see it, like, but it's what's implied. Exactly where it's going because it just goes black. Because it goes up to like the point of view like of you looking at your character, and she raises a sword and you just hear this whoosh, and it just blacks.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like a cool game. I mean, I don't know. I haven't stuck with all these old RPGs for the last while. I haven't played. What's the newest RPG I've played? Fuck, I don't even know.
The newest one you played?
Yeah. I think it might. God damn, is it Final Fantasy 15? I don't know if it's 15.
It might be.
Bro, you gotta broaden your horizon, man.
Yeah. All the games, all the mana games are old. Like it's it's gonna be a while. Kingdom Hearts 3 I'll eventually get to. That'll be newer. But yeah, I haven't played a recent RPG.
You'll play the Final Fantasy 7 remake. So I mean.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's all one company though. Most of my RPGs have been from one company. So
you have a whole podcast about it. So I mean.
Yeah, I mean, so I bet the side quests will be dog shit. There'll be 1,000 of them, and yeah. Those two things I can say for sure. What do you think, Craig? Do you think these games are the games of the future, or a series like FF? Like what seems to be more common with the RPG scene now? Because I'm so far removed. Hearing you guys talk about this, it just sounds so different from what I've been playing. Because I guess I play a lot of RPGs, but not a lot of new ones.
Right.
So I mean,
I don't think that the tactical RPGs are essentially growing in popularity, though they might be, which is good because I love them. But action RPGs are the things that I've noticed are being a real big, are being really popular.
Right. I mean, if you look like Borderlands 3 is technically an RPG. We had like that last year, Cyberpunk this year, Final Fantasy this year. It seems like it's more like the fighting that way.
Yeah, and then, of course, Final Fantasy 15 was an RPG, right. Kingdom Hearts 3, a lot of these...
God of War last year, the year before. I mean, like...
Yeah, so this is more of like the underground RPG scene?
I wouldn't say underground because it has such a huge popularity base, and I know a lot of people that do like I have a game on Switch called Wargroove, which is like it kind of plays the same. I don't know. I feel like
I think it's just like a popular series that people enjoy, and so it's kind of like one of those things like with Persona 5 came out, and then that's turn-based. Dragon Quest XI is also turn-based, so it's a big RPG series that has just kind of like survived through the years, and it's like because of its certain style that they kind of don't really want to change it too much. Unlike Final Fantasy, where they're like, yeah, we're just gonna make a new one, and it's gonna be completely different from the last one.
Oh, okay. So they're just a little more consistent then. Yeah,
it's more like Final Fantasy is the odd one out, where they change it all the fucking time, and then every other series is like, our fans know what they like, so we're gonna put it in new mechanics and change it a little bit, but it's gonna be the same at the core.
That's fair. Yeah, they're all like they're all comfort food RPG series almost, where you kind of know what you're gonna get.
Essentially, yeah.
That makes more sense, and I mean, more things are like that, I would say. Especially if you have a consistent team or a consistent, things that your group of things you're pulling from. I don't know. I've always heard great things about Fire Emblem. They've always been really expensive, like the old ones. So, I'm like, oh, they must be good because they're $50 for this PS1 game,
Yeah.
But that's it, as far as I know.
The Fire Emblem game for the GameCube is like $160.
Jesus.
So, yeah.
That's crazy. Like I don't know. I saw people playing this and had everyone tell me how good it was. I've never played a Fire Emblem game before this. This is my first one, and I honestly want to go back and play the rest of the series because this was so fun.
Really?
Plus, it's also one of those rare Nintendo exclusive games too that just doesn't pop up very much. So it's like.
I think. Sorry, go on.
I was just gonna say they haven't really had that many big releases for Fire Emblem, at least here. The last ones that I remember were on the Game Boy, the Sacred Stones and shit, and then all of a sudden it was but they had releases before that, and then I got back into it when it was on 3DS with Awakening, which was a big one. So they put the characters from that into Smash Bros, and then they did that again with the one after that, the Fire Emblem Fates or whatever, and then Three Houses, and now that's why there's so many Fire Emblem characters in Smash Bros. Is because it recently just got huge again.
And was it huge in the States, or was it huge in Japan too? Because I feel like Japan is why it survived.
Both, but it got bigger over here. It's one of the reasons, I think.
That's cool. What I was going to say is I feel like it's at home on the Switch. I don't know if I would have had as much fun as I did if I was on the console controller.
Mm-hmm.
There's something great about having the handheld. I love being able to take a handheld.
Right. There's certain games that only they would be fun only to me on the Switch. I Am Setsuna would have been a different experience for me on the console. But then, when I got to play it, laying in bed or doing other stuff, that's when it really came in clutch.
Right.
Yeah, it's a lot like that for this game too. I would give gameplay another 9. I really liked this one. I didn't really have any problems with it. I liked the way that the classes worked. I liked being able to build towards all these different ones. Getting a Grimoire class was fucking nuts, because you get the double heals and the double magic attacks on everybody.
Everything was rad, dude.
Building up the relationships and things, it was really good. I enjoyed everything about it. And of course, it's a tactical RPG, which is in itself something I love.
I mean, it made things easy too, and seemed non-meticulous, like fishing real quick to get food for the church, during for mine, during the fight, the war area, or it was easy. You just went in and did it real quick. It was really quick little mini game. You have it. Going to to do the seeds and stuff in the terrarium, whatever. It was easy. It didn't take time. It was just like super fast, and it helped like with your professor rank. I'd give it a 10, honestly. Like, I loved it. This is the first like real tactical RPG I've played, and I've just fallen in love with them. I think they're great, and I want to play more.
Very nice. So 9 from Craig, 10 from Zach. It's a good. This thing's shaping up to be pretty bitchin'. All right, so graphics and design. How does this game look? Do you like the art style? Do you like the style overall? What do you guys think? What do you think about the?
I enjoy the style a lot. It's very anime-esque, and I guess the other ones are too. But I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it has a very anime style. I really like it. They did a really good job with it. They have that kind of. They have some really good cutscenes and stuff, and then also, they have they have that little graphic novel type thing where the characters pop up and they'll talk to you and stuff like that. But then when you get like the actual cutscenes of talking to each of the characters, it'll play out a scene for you, and it's like that. And it's a really well done 3D anime style game. Like, there's not a lot of games that are that 3D anime that still look good, and this is one of them that does. And then you get other little cool things in like in the fights. You can see the top down thing of like the whole screen, and then you can see like your character in a mini version just kind of like running around killing people, and then you get the battle cutscenes where you like do the attacks and shit.
So something I didn't realize, actually, sorry, going with that, I didn't realize you could get in closer, like with your camera.
Oh, you didn't know you could zoom on it?
So I saw it in the trailer, and I was like, fucking liar. I was like, you can't do this. And then, like, I was, like, messing around, and I did it, and I was like, oh, shit. So you can, like, get in, so you, like, when Craig earlier was saying you can have, like, a little attachment with you, you can go in and you can see them, so you can actually see, like, a little war, like skirmish, like, breaking out. And it's pretty rad. So that's a mechanic I didn't realize until I was, like, in the last, like, second level of the game. So... and then when you're choosing like your classes and stuff to upgrade them, like you get the little the pixel art of the class that your character is going to morph into, and I thought that was like a really cool callback, because like a lot of the games before have had that same thing, because like it's been Fire Emblem has been around for a while, being on the Game Boy and shit, and they have that same pixel thing with like your characters being different classes, and then even on the 3DS they did that. So like being able to having a higher graphic level game, and then it's like this is your little pixel sprite of what you're going to morph into. I thought that was really cool. I liked that a lot.
Okay, so I know this isn't related at all, but it's hilarious and very bizarre. Cameron messages us on the side, and he's like, why are we calling Sarah Swim? Because right now we're doing this through like a Facebook chat, because for some reason fucking Skype is retardo with this mixer. And Cameron sent the group chat a picture of the like phone call, and it says in this chat, and it says Caleb Schweiss, Sarah Swim, Zachary Sims, and 2 others. Who the fuck is that?
That's one of my friends, but I don't know why. What the fuck?
It says she's in here. I didn't know that was a real person. I was like, what the fuck is Sarah Swim?
That's weird, because it's just telling me it's us 4.
That sounds like some kind of code name.
Same.
Yeah, Sarah Swim.
I have no idea. That's someone I know, but...
Sarah, welcome to the program.
It's only... My thing's only saying it's us 4. That's hella weird.
Yeah, I think it was...
mine's only saying it's us 4, too.
Maybe it was just we were calling her, and she's like, no, I don't want to be on Nude Clan. I don't like that show. I just saw that, and I was like, who the fuck is that?
That's
Go
crazy.
look at your chats, though. She just messaged us, everything good, because she didn't answer, apparently.
Oh, there was another group created, and some reason...
Because we called her, yeah.
And for some reason, she's in that group. Oh, okay, God. Why is there another group?
Who made the group? That's so weird.
No,
It was you.
I checked back on the call. Yeah, it's only you. Only you, Zach, could have added her on accident.
Yeah, there's a separate chat group on Facebook that's got Sarah Swim, Cameron Wilson, Zachary Sims, Caleb Craig, and me.
Dog, I don't know what happened.
That's super weird.
You know what, dude? Like, so, like, I've had it, like, to my ear, and, like, it's been, like, opening different things up, so maybe it did. Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
You gotta tell her that everything's fine, Zach. She's worried about you. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Yeah, it says you added her to the call on accident.
Yeah, that's funny.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. Sorry to derail for a sec, but I thought that was really funny, and I was like, what the hell is he talking about?
Well, I'm excited for doing the stuff not recorded next week. With the little cams. God damn it. Well, sorry about that. My bad.
That's funny. Like, I was looking at calling her, I'm like, but what if she answers? That would have been hella confusing.
That would have been way funny, actually. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, did she play the game? I mean, you know.
Still there's that?
Yeah, I'm just messaging her real quick, but like, I don't know what happened. Fucking Facebook.
Yeah, I don't know. It does weird stuff. There's weird things that happen. But hey, their messenger chat works for us, so thank you. You know, just bizarre.
Yeah, no, it's except for this.
Yeah, except for the random creation of groups. Fuck. All right, so graphics and design. What? Jesus, Craig, did you? I know Zach was talking about it.
So you weren't listening to my whole thing the whole time?
No, it was Craig that was talking, not me.
Oh, okay.
Does that answer the question?
No, that doesn't answer the question. All right, so you guys got any more thoughts on the way it looks? Because to me, it looks like it kind of reminds me of, I don't know, just most really high-end like anime games. It looks pretty good. It has like multiple different styles of cutscenes.
Yeah.
It sounds like.
It does. It's very polished. I think they did a really good job.
Yeah, the cutscene in the trailer, they looked pretty good for the Switch, and that was the Switch trailer I was watching. So that was the dumbed down version, and everything looked pretty damn good to me. I don't know.
No, that's great.
The dumbed down version. That's the only version there is.
Yeah, it's a dumbed down version. They got a secret PS4 version, PS4 Pro version. They just didn't release it.
They didn't release it.
Yeah. See, the Switch is an enabler for companies to not try as hard to make things look good. Although this game does look good, it just
I actually kind of prefer it in a way because it makes it so they have to like be clever with their art styles.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. They have to like kind of mask some of the limitations.
Yeah, like how we had Final Fantasy 12 on the PS2 and it looks better than 10, even though it's like technically less polygons and shit.
My art style doesn't determine my game style.
That's right.
Yeah, it's true. What would you give it, Craig?
I'd give the graphics and design an 8.
All right, 8 from Craig. Respectable.
Yeah, I was gonna give it 9.
All right, so sound and music. I didn't really get much of the soundtrack. The voice acting to me on the trailer seemed decent enough, but what do you guys think? I mean, voice cast, sound, music, sound effects, any kind of glitches with that? Any tracks that stand out? Go to town. What do you think?
I don't really remember any music that really stood out. I mean, there was a couple that were pretty good while I was doing major fights in the game, like where it started turning and stuff, and when characters died and various things like that. But it was okay. The voice acting though is really good. This game excels in that. I don't think there's a single character that I like hated because of their voice or anything. they all sounded really good, and there's like a couple of characters that I know Cameron would hate.
Yeah.
But
Like who?
like even then they sounded good. It's because they were going for a particular character style, and they weren't annoying or anything. Like I would say, Neil from 13 is, or a random the annoying characters. Like there weren't really any of those in this.
Yeah, I'd agree. The voice acting was top tier. Everything was believable. I mean, I don't know. I liked it. Can't really fault it. I didn't have any glitches or anything with like music, and I'm gonna agree with Craig. Like none of the soundtrack really stood out. It's pretty normal. I mean, it wasn't like where I guess like we were in Pokemon. Like it wasn't with like Pokemon where like the music, like there's just some tracks you're like, oh hell yeah, or like Doom Eternal where you're like, oh fuck, like this is like awesome. Like I can get into this. I didn't feel that way with any of like the soundtrack music.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's certain soundtracks serve to they serve the gameplay, whereas in Doom Eternal, like half of the game itself is a soundtrack. So I wouldn't give it points just because it doesn't hold the candle up.
First, I was saying like Pokemon, like where a lot of like when you get into a fight scene, like or a battle.
Yeah,
scene,
every time you get into battles in Pokemon Sword and Shield, and each gym leader has their own theme, and then you get into like other battles, and you get the intense music every time. Then those are songs that you like recognize and love.
And this one,
Fire Emblem, it's more like an ambiance thing, where it's like it's there, but it's like they only get intense when it's like an intense moment. So you get those, and they're cool, but nothing like jumps out at you.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed.
All right. I mean, that's not the worst thing ever. I mean, I don't know. Some games have really good soundtracks, like Doom, like you were saying, where it is part of it, and then other times you don't always need that. You know what I mean? Like you don't always need like the Cosmo Canyon heavy, huge song in this town.
In some ways, I think it's kind of mixed because sometimes you don't want it to stand out. Sometimes you just kind of like you like it's like elevator music. You like you don't want complete silence, but you also don't want it to be like something that will be annoying to you.
Yeah.
I would have liked a good mix where like during like the softer parts of the game or like the chiller parts where it would have been there. But like during the fight scenes, it would have been nice to have some really like good intense music to be like, oh yeah, like up the tempo, Like yeah. So for music, I would give it an 8.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean
I'd go with an 8 as well.
Okay.
Music being the one detractor because the voice acting is really good. It's top notch.
The voice acting's great, and then even the effects are really good too. It's just the music I wish and the music's not bad. It's not terrible. It's really good. It's just I would have preferred different. Like if you're in a fight scene, like let's have music like I'm in a fight scene, not that I'm like chilling. Like that's my detractor.
Got it. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so the final category, the second gameplay category, largely, although you could say story for some of these RPGs. How likely are you guys to replay this game? Have you replayed it? It sounds like I already know the answer to that one.
Yeah. I have started it again, and there is a new DLC out that adds to the story as well. This is one of the games where I want to go through it because all the endings are so different. I want to get every ending. It's not like other games where it's like the ending's like, oh, it's the exact same thing except for so and so like kills so and so in this game. It's where you did stop the bomb. Here you go, good job. It's like no, like they're vastly different and they vastly change the world in each ending.
Got it. So it's
the gameplay. I would give the gameplay and replayability a 10 out of 10.
I would as well.
Because there's 3 different houses for you to play through. Each of those 3 houses has 2 different endings at least for you to like explore. Yeah, there's a new DLC that adds to that, adds characters, that's like a whole bunch of other shit to it. I only saw one ending and it took me like 60 hours to get there.
Right.
And so if I want to see the others, that's another 60 hours. Like it's a lot of playing again, and I get that new game plus. You get to keep your there's these points that you get to keep as you progress through. Like you put into your statues, which give you like special points and stuff. But you also get to do things with them like that make it an interesting new game plus, where you can like buy back your teacher level from your previous game. So you can keep increasing that. So on your next playthrough, you can just like buy it back again. So you can start out with like the max level and be able to buy like
awesome.
the highest level shit from all the stores. Yeah, it's an interesting mechanic, and then you can also like buy back like a bunch of various other things with those points that you get from playing through the game. So you can play through the game like 6 times and have completely different experiences.
Right. Well,
while also being able to get back,
right.
some of your core stuff for a new game plus.
Well, there's the added thing as well with the paralogs, because you get different paralogs as you go through, as well as you build up different relationships.
Yeah, so you get different side quests as well, which are story ones that give you cutscenes and shit. So that's there's a lot of extra stuff to do, and that's a lot of time that you can put into this game. Buying it for $60 and you get 60 hours worth of gameplay for one of 6 playthroughs. It's crazy.
Yeah,
it
was
a worth
lot.
it. It really was. I don't think many games can say that they're worth their $60 in this right now, but I think this one was.
Yeah, that's one of the things that RPGs have a really good opportunity to do, and it sounds like this one did a great job of it. Is just have like multiple endings, multiple ways to play the game to really draw you back in, and to have actual story changes. That's the big key part, because if the story stays the same, I mean, a lot of people play the RPG for the story, so if the story's not going to be that different, if it's going to be like a Telltale switcheroo, switch them up, where it's like just a teeny bit of change, it's not enough, but it sounds like this thing, you can drastically change the outcome of the ending.
That's another thing that's really interesting about this particular game, is because like along with the different storylines, you get completely different characters as well. Because we played with the Black Eagles, the Edelgard people, so we got a class of characters that we learned about these characters as we kept playing through. But if we choose one of the other 2 houses, we get an entirely different class of characters.
Right.
Which that completely changes the story too, because they're it's kind of a character focused story, as well as being like having an actual background story going on that's really good as well. So it's you get a mix. So it's not just one different playthrough with various changes. It's like 3 completely different ones with completely different characters. It's like 3 games in one, basically.
Like if Game Freak would have done this, we would have had like Fire Emblem Red, Blue, and Gold. Like that's what they would have done. And it's just nice to have it all in one and be able to just do it. To me, it shows respect for their fans as well. And like honestly, this is a franchise I'm excited to see where it goes, and they've definitely like made me a fan.
Very nice. Yeah, I kind of want to play them. I mean, we got 16 games. I wonder at what point do I create another podcast for a series? You know what I mean? And Final Fantasy has 50, so that's not the point to make it, but because that's a lot, and I don't know if I'll be alive when Fire Emblem 50 comes out.
Oh, another thing with replayability for Fire Emblem is there's not only difficulty level choice for the game, so you can make it harder or easier, but there's also a choice for classic mode or a modern mode. Where in classic mode, if your characters die, they die permanently. So you can't use them for the rest of the game. So you have to go and recruit the other characters from the other classes.
That actually sounds pretty interesting to me.
I forgot about that because I didn't do classic mode because I wanted to play it for the story for my first time. But yeah, that's something that a lot of the veteran that I've found Fire Emblem fans are that's the only way you should play. You should only play on that mode because it's permanent. So
yeah, that's how all the other games were, right? So
Yeah, they have added the choice in the last few games, if you want to choose that. I know Awakening had it, and I played that one on Classic mode, and I lost my, like, mounted knight guy, like, immediately. He got fucked. I was like, damn it.
I was talking to a friend about it, and he was saying that, like, he goes, when he was a kid when he played his first Fire Emblem. I don't remember which one it was. But he said he never played another one because, like, he just remembers doing that and then, like, losing, like, half his people. And he's like, you don't get him back, and he's like, I just scarred him.
Yeah, so you either have to, like, you basically have to restart the battle so you can keep your characters, or you have to live with the fact that half your characters died.
Yeah. Which, I mean, doesn't look good on you as a teacher.
Yeah. You have to call the parents. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I lost your kid today.
Hey, Timothy got fucked by the Black Knight. I couldn't stop it.
Yeah, the Death Knight was an absolute cunt, and he just fucking lightning blasted your kid.
Your kid's head. Congratulations.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of want to play some of these.
Do they switch? I'm actually
I have Fire Emblem Awakening on 3DS and Three Houses if you want to borrow either of them.
Wait. Do you have Awakening, like, hard copy?
Yeah.
I want to borrow that.
All right.
Because I almost bought it on my 3DS, like, on the online store.
Very nice. Yeah, we got some love for the series going on. That's good. That's a good sign. All right. So, any final thoughts? I mean, it sounds like you guys already kind of ran through it. If you got any.
What I told Craig this. I honestly think, like, it's my favorite game from 2019, and I didn't get to play it until 2020. So I kind of regret not getting it. But, like, I was looking forward to Borderlands 3, like, all last year. But if I'd have played this one definitely would have been, like, the top of my list, and it would have beat it for me as, like, my most anticipated game.
Nice. That's good. That's good praise.
It is a really good game from a really good series.
Yeah, really, like, honestly, like, if you've never played a Fire Emblem, like, this is a great chance to start. I mean, it's where I started. You're not lost. You kind of it gives you lore, like, you know, that you don't really need to know. Sometimes, I guess, if you played other games, it made it easier to know, like, class-wise, like, what you wanted. But, I mean, I didn't have a problem going through and being like, oh, this class is dope, let's do this. So,
yeah.
It's good jumping on point to the series, I think.
It's good to know. Very good to know. All right, so recap of the scores. Story, 9s across the board. Gameplay, 9 from Craig, 10 from Zach. Graphics and design, 8 from Craig, 9 from Zach. Sound and music, 8s across the board. Replayability, strongest score, 10s across the board. For a total of 44 out of 50 from Craig and 46 out of 50 for Zach. A grand total, a nude clan total of 90 out of 100. And the Metacritic score is 89 out of 100. So we've made up for our, like, 1 point downer last time and have become even once again with the Metacritic gods.
Perfectly balanced.
Metacritic gods.
Yeah. So, very good game. That's a pretty high score. It's impressive stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a series I think you'd like, Schweiss, especially since you did enjoy Final Fantasy Tactics. It's not quite the same, but I think even Cam would like the style.
Yeah, I was about to ask you. You know, the real question is, would I like it?
Yeah, I think you definitely like the gameplay, but you know, your aversion to anime, I don't know how you'd feel about certain things.
It's not just an aversion to anime. It's aversion to, like, the tropes and, like, the weirdness that happens in anime.
There are certain characters that are very tropey.
Yeah, like
which are the ones that I think you'd hate, but at the same time, you know, they're really useful.
Yeah.
So
one of the characters in the game,
the edgelord will edge.
She's very shy, and she plays off that, like, a lot. Where, like, it does get a little bit annoying, but she's, like, one of the best characters in the game. Like, you get her leveled up, and she just one shots people with her bow.
Yeah. And then you also kind of find out why she's that way, and then it's like, oh.
Yeah. Her story's fucked. Like, dude, every woman in this game, and you'll find that out when you play, has daddy issues. Every single one. Ooh. I don't know what they're doing, but they're not good parents.
Yeah. That's my specialty. No, that's funny. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like a lot of the female characters in a lot of RPGs seem kind of like just boilerplate. But it sounds like there's a lot of bitchin' ones in this game, so maybe it's not so much.
Right.
But the daddy issue thing.
There's a lot of cool ones in this game.
Yeah.
There's a character called Catherine, and she's like the leader of the knights for the church, and she has like a god tier weapon. It's like the thunder god blade.
Thunderblade.
And she just like basically calls lightning down on everybody as she's like fucking slashing them to death.
Yeah, see there you go. That's a strong female character.
No, she's good.
Yeah. That's funny though, they all have daddy issues. Even the badass ones.
I don't know. Like I didn't get the stories for all of them because
One
like,
would
there's a
argue
lot of
more.
characters,
Like,
so it's kind of like
Catherine, it doesn't really give you a backstory to her except for Catherine's got a hard on for the Pope because like when she
does.
killed like the Pope, like the Rhea, she like took care of her and she's like, oh, I love her, like we have to like, oh, anything I do because she would want me to do it, and it's just like that gets kind of annoying. But
oh yeah, and then there's also a female student who has a fucking hard on for your dad.
oh yeah, that's great because every time you go around there, she's just like with your dad, and you're like, no, get away from her.
That's really bizarre. That's really awkward.
Well, she was in the choir, and so she wants to continue like her knighthood stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and she's, like always like just like right behind. Like every time you go to talk to your dad, like she's there.
Oh. It's slightly more undressed each time.
So, like, there's also a character named
If she could be, then yeah, she would.
like. So I found like I don't know if Craig got this dialogue, but there's a character named Manuela, and she's like this older like diva. Like she was like an opera singer, but she teaches magic at the school. And like I got one where like you go and like knock on her door because you got to talk to her, and she's like, oh wait, oh, and then she starts like talking to herself, and she's like talking about like how she got drunk the night before because his night didn't take her out.
Oh yeah, and she's like cleaning up and shit, so that she's not embarrassed by your company.
Yeah, and she's just like,
I got that. I love Manuela. She's great.
She's just like, oh, I gotta stop drinking so much. And you're just like waiting there, and she's like, you didn't hear any of that, did you? And you're like, no.
It's like I'm gonna pretend like I didn't.
So funny. The humor in this one's really good too. I think there's some spots that are just like really good, and a lot of the actions are really good.
Yeah, that's I don't know. It sounds like a good time. I'm glad you guys both unwittingly played it for a review later.
It's a good time. It was a good time.
Yeah, we tend to play games that are older largely, so it's good to get some of these newer RPGs. Plus, it gives me kind of an idea as to what the fuck's going on in the RPG world. Because again, for as many RPGs as I have played, I haven't really played that many RPGs. You know,
right?
Yeah, a lot of the RPGs you played have just been Final Fantasy, which, yeah.
I mean, they're usually different from each other, but they're also different from.
But they're also made by like the same 4 guys, and so it's like they're almost similar every time.
Yeah, it's oddly similar considering the differences. But yeah, lately they've been a lot more different from each other. But it's also been years and years in between games, so that's probably more to do with it than anything else. Well, cool. That's good. So pick it up on Switch. These guys definitely recommend it, and it's certainly worth even the full price, which it probably isn't at anymore. Game sold over 2.5
million. No, it totally
million.
is. It's a Nintendo exclusive.
Oh, so it's that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
For years, I mean, if you look at Zelda, Breath of the Wild is still $60.
Man, Nintendo's such bastards for that.
Yeah, they really are.
So over 2.5 million copies sold worldwide as of the end of last year. So the game's doing great. Definitely see more Fire Emblem. Those are pretty big numbers. So that's good. And it's funny because like I've heard a few people talking about the game, but like it's not like I don't know. It's not like a huge thing, but obviously it is because 2.5 million. That's a good number, man. That's that's a strong number for a series that's been going for this long and has this many entries in it. So,
Right.
excited to see what they do in the future.
Yeah, dude, it'll be great. I'm excited.
All right. Well, you guys got anything else you want to talk about?
No, I'm good.
I think I'm good too, man.
When are we all gonna go back into Conan Exiles? That's what I want to know.
I know.
I'll have to download it, but I will. I'll go play through those.
Listening to Dune, all the desert, I'm like, man, I kind of miss Conan Exiles. Even though the desert's the worst area in the game, I'm like, I still kind of miss that Conan.
Gotta miss that.
For years to come, we're gonna something is gonna just remind Schweiss offhandedly of Conan Exiles. Like decades from now, Schweiss is like, when are we gonna get back on Conan Exiles?
Yeah. 20 years from now, you can bust your PS4s out. We can't play online anymore.
Yeah, dust that shit off. We're gonna do a LAN party for Conan Exiles. Yeah, I still want to get all the other Conan games and play those too. You never
there's
finished
that hack and slash one on PS3 that's supposed to be pretty decent. So I do want to play that.
Yeah, didn't you pick up one of them? Was it the PS2 one?
It's the PS3 one.
Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah, I should look into that. I have so many things I want to do though. I want to replay Sekiro. I want to replay Final Fantasy 12. I want to finish Metal Gear Solid 3, Doom. Like I've got so many things I want to do, and so little time. It's really sad. Everyone else gets all this time because they're non-essential, except for all of us are essential, which is
I'm at work every damn day.
Yeah, well, I mean, like the listeners on the internet, I'm seeing all these people like, oh, plenty of time to knock out the backlog, and I'm like, man, fuck you guys. I'm working like 6 days a week now.
Yeah, and technically my job, quote unquote, isn't an essential service, but it's very easy to do from home.
Yeah. So it's easy to make it, compliant with anything. Yeah, man.
And the reason why I'm still here, if you guys are wondering, is because the shop is closed today. The city is down.
I was looking at the time and I was like, oh, I thought you were leaving at noon.
Yeah, so I can't have him today because he just barely texted me this morning saying it's closed. So,
well, damn.
I know.
Well, maybe we can.
We could skip some Doom Online, maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, we could try to do that.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. All right, so guys, for that and other things of greatness, twitch.tv/NudeClanGaming. Go there, follow us, watch us play, watch us podcast, except for this week. It's just weird being the only one in the room. That'd be kind of bizarre. I just feel uncomfortable with that. But, you can go there, you can follow us, sub to us, do whatever you want. And we also have patreon.com/ we don't have an actual hyperlink. I've just been lying about that. Just search for Nude Clan on Patreon, because they're a-holes and don't give us our own little special link. So that's where you can support the show. You can support us by sharing it with a friend. You got somebody that likes Fire Emblem 3 Houses or is thinking about the game. If they don't care about spoilers, send them our way.
The beautiful thing is they only got spoilers for 2 of the endings.
That's right, yeah. So many endings we don't even know about.
Yeah, there's like 4 more endings they can explore.
Exactly. So now you don't have to explore these endings, and you can experience more of the story. So it's perfect. So go there. Follow us there. Follow us wherever you get your podcasts. Leave us a review. All the goods. We really appreciate the support in any and every way you give it to us. So thank you. And I think that's going to be it for this week, guys. Until next time.
Enjoy the nude.
Time to get good.
Edelgard's hot.
Live always in the nude.
Yeah!